Hey everybody, it's Charlie from DM Sound, and today we've got the sound system demo on the 2025 Acura MDX and its 19-speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the new touchscreen infotainment system works, take a look at audio inputs, adjustments, controls, speaker locations. We're going to test out the 5.1 support, and then we're going to head out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now, if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning and you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And if you want to hear even more on the system, sign up below to become a Daily Motor member. I'm going to record a members-only sound test with this car using real tracks requested by other Daily Motor members. So if you want to hear more on it and support the channel, find that below. Also, we've already tested the top-tier Bang & Olufsen system in the MDX Type S. If you want to see that, I'll put the link to that in the description as well. But before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. This is the A-Spec MDX, so one tier down from the Type S, getting you the standard powertrain and not quite as many interior features, but this is still a very nice car to be in. We've got some tasteful upgrades for 2025, one of which is the change from ELS over to this Bang & Olufsen sound system. TBD at the end of the video if we think that is a worthwhile change, but you've also got some minor styling upgrades, a little bit of different trim packaging, and you have that touchscreen infotainment system. So if you do want to see more on the car, check the link below. We've got a full review. We're going to do a fuel economy test and a little bit of an infotainment breakdown. Now, we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV files, but today they're not on a USB stick because, tried as I might, I was not able to get the USB stick to play music into this car. And I tried it with the Type S model that we reviewed before. I've made sure that my USB drive is formatted to FAT32. I've tried FLAC files and WAV files and MP3 files. I've tried different adapters. I don't know why it doesn't want to play my USB sticks. But I am using wired Android Auto, so theoretically we're getting the most high fidelity possible audio into this car. It's getting harder and harder to get hi-fi audio into vehicles these days, but I am using the uncompressed WAV files on my phone plugged into Android Auto, so theoretically we should be running at a pretty high bit rate. And I've got high-quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with the sound settings set to their factory defaults, so let's take a look at those now. This updated Android automotive-based infotainment system here, touchscreen only, no trackpad, and I'm going to have to spend the entire week with the car to decide if I miss the trackpad or not. Initial impressions, I do kind of miss it because the screen's pretty far away. So as you're driving around, once you learned how to use the trackpad on the previous MDX, it was kind of nice to be able to utilize the system without having to take your eyes and hands away from the road quite as dramatically. But the system is very quick to get around when you're static, so we're going to go home and then slide over to general settings. You see how quickly everything responds. Nice big buttons as well. Under sound, the first thing we see is Bassonic tone and surround. So I'm just realizing now that we're not set to default right now because I was tweaking some of the sound settings earlier. If you want to adjust bass, treble, you have to look really close in there, and it shows bass down, treble up, down. It's sort of this 360-degree dial that you move around, and it's trying to sort of democratize what bass and treble mean to an average listener. So do you like more of a bright sound, an energetic sound, a warm sound, or a relaxed sound? So let's go through those. Let's go full bass. Well, sorry, we'll go full treble, full treble, bottom treble, top bass, bottom bass. I gotta say, I do appreciate that they still put the little bass and treble in there, even if it's subtle, because I wouldn't have 100% known which is which when I'm adjusting my audio there. But unfortunately, no sort of multi-band equalizer and no mid-range adjustment. What you do have is a surround level adjustment, so I'm gonna back our track up a little bit here for this testing purpose. Now, reset to default, it's all the way at stereo, and what that tells me is that the audio engineers understand that to get the most true, proper recording sound, you're going to want the 3D off, because 3D is artificial. It's adding an element to the music that the initial the musician, recordist, the artist, didn't intend to be in his or her track. So as you dial up the 3D surround, yes, it might sound cool to some people, but it's getting away from the initial recording. So right now it's on stereo. We'll dial it up to full and see how it sounds. that's utilizing these speakers up here in the ceiling and a little bit more of the tuning to kind of change things around. It's not very dramatic. I could see some people turning it up a little bit to get a little bit more of a full sound. Coming back, then we have center speaker volume and roof speaker volume. Let's go through those. As to default, they're right in the middle. A few things I'm liking here. I like that as you move these dials around, they stick in the middle, so if you're just trying to get it back to the center, it's very easy to do, especially if you're driving or something like that. And this is going to be one of those tests where at the end of the video, I'll share what settings I've kind of tweaked throughout my week with the system, because I'm already thinking I'm going to want a little bit more center volume to make up for that subwoofer in the back that you can't adjust. Then below that, you have audio zones, full, driver, front only, and rear only. Let's go through those. Okay, so that's not a focus. That's actually just shutting off all the other speakers except for right by the driver. And then you can manually adjust the front, rear, left, fader, and balance over there. And that is it for explicit audio adjustments. You also have speed, volume, compensation, so as you get going faster, it's going to increase the volume of the music to make up for road, wind, and tire noise. Sorry, road, wind, and engine noise. Making our way back and taking a look at audio controls here in the MDX. I have a nice volume knob here. It's very easy for both the driver and passenger to reach. Got decent clicks. It feels a little plasticky, so I'd appreciate a little bit of a higher quality volume feel there, but at least we have a physical control. You also have a volume rocker on the left side of the wheel. For track selection, they were smart and gave us a little track rocker right below the volume knob, and then you also have track selection on the left side of the wheel, and you can use the touchscreen in the proper menu. For audio inputs in the new MDX, you gotta go home, and then you either have one of these app kind of application presets set right there, or you can go to all apps and scroll through. So we've got AM radio, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth audio, FM radio. Interestingly, no Sirius XM. You actually have to install an app through the Play Store because this is an Android automotive based system to get Sirius XM. Man, I just cannot think today. And then you do have a USB-C port in there, but like I said, I've had trouble getting USB-C to work on all the new MDXs that I've driven. And you can use that Play Store to install other applications through the Google Store, such as Spotify or Amazon Music or Tidal, things like that. What does that mean you're missing? Well, there's no USB-A port, so make sure you have an adapter for your USB devices. Like I said, no Sirius XM app built in. You got to install that. But other than that, with the wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, you're pretty well covered. Speaker locations. As I said, this is a 19 speaker system. Starting in the bottom left, we've got a door woofer there, 1, mid-ranger 2, tweeter up here 3, 4, 5, unity speaker and tweeter in the center, 6, 7, 8 on the other side. In the ceiling, 9, 10. Coming into the back, we're looking at 11, 12, mid-ranger and tweeter, 13, 14 on the other side, 15, 16 in the speakers, 17, 18 mid-rangers in the D-pillar, and then if we open up the cargo area, we're seeing a subwoofer making 19, somewhere over here. Before we get on the road, let's test out the 5.1 support. So we're going to use the immersiveaudioalbum.com test track.
Welcome to the Immersive Audio Album channel configuration test. Left. Center. Right. Left surround.
Oh.
Right surround. LFE.
Okay, so that is only 2-channel right there, 5.1 mixed down. Now, I'm going to give a slight asterisk and say that we're not using our usual USB right into the car, so maybe there's something with YouTube, or rather the Android Auto that's down mixing on its own. But I would be surprised to not see 5.1 support here in the MDX. Also, we do not have support for Dolby Atmos in this new system. So if you're somebody utilizing Dolby Atmos, not going to get it here in this one. All right, with that out of the way, let's get on the road. capability and the power of this system are very impressive. But the tuning is so perplexing. Why am I getting so much sound shoved through the subwoofer in the back? And it deteriorates and erodes the fidelity of the other aspects of the music. I'm hearing my mid-level guitar come through the subwoofer. That's not where it's supposed to be coming from. I'm supposed to be getting a nice a crisp sound through the mid-rangers for that, and then give me the bass drum and the bass guitar hits from the subwoofer in the rear. Even with the bass turned way down in the system, it's not sounding good. It really isn't. It's too strong. For this next track, we will turn the bass all the way up, and we'll see how powerful the system is. That's a ton of mirror shakage. I'm feeling it in my seat. I'm feeling it in the floorboard. And it's not deteriorating at all. It's a very strong, confident sound. But even back here at default, very strong bass. My thoughts on the 19-speaker Bang & Olufsen system here in the 25 MDX. Typically, I'm able to wrap up my thoughts on a sound system within this minute or so of the remainder of this song. But there's so much to unpack, and this is such a high-profile system that I'm going to get off the highway here. We're going to stop. We're going to talk about a lot of different thoughts I have. But before I do, I'm going to recommend you check the link below. I'm going to play a song, Somewhere I Belong by Linkin Park. Fairly popular song, one a lot of you all should know. And I want you to hear the beginning of it, because Alyssa and I just happened to listen to this song last night in this car, and I noticed there's way too much bass coming out of it, and it's a song I've listened to for years. I'm going to pause this, I'm going to start that song, check the link below. I can't play it here because I'll get copyright stricken. Okay, we're static now, and we can talk about some of these issues more in detail. First off, into the sound settings here. The fact that we're only dealing with treble and bass adjustment for our EQ, if you're going to be a main player here in the top tier audio level sphere, you gotta give us at least mid-range adjustment, preferably 5-band equalizer, but why not a 9-band equalizer? If other people are doing it, Give us that ultimate adjustability. I mean, you're aiming toward audiophiles here. And then even on top of that, you've got brands like Burmester giving you these personalized sound profiles, really customizing the system. And then you've got other brands like Harman and Bowers and Wilkins giving you this sizzle reel, showing off the impressive abilities of the sound system. And here you just get, okay, this Bassonic tone and surround, and you can dial back the bass and the treble and adjust the surround level. Very basic compared to other top level players in the class. Then dialing down the bass and treble for me all the way still just barely takes the edge off of the rear subwoofer. So what I found for my preferable settings, keeping bass and treble lower like that, and then going back, turning up the center speaker 1 or 2 clicks. That's at least giving me a little bit more of a robust mid-range and moving the sound toward the front of the vehicle. Now, all of that being said, I am suspicious that something isn't translating properly from Bluetooth into the audio system. Because Android Auto, whether wired or wireless, uses both Bluetooth and wireless technology, but I've never gotten a straight answer out of which of those 2 wireless technologies are being used for the audio, and I suspect it's probably Bluetooth. I think it's a high bitrate Bluetooth, but Bluetooth nonetheless. So I'm gonna try to go home before this car goes away and see if I can figure some way out to get my USB stick working in this car. But even if there's a proper way to get 5.1 music and maybe utilize that subwoofer better back there, most people are simply going to be listening to music from their devices. So to me, it's more important to evaluate how the music is going to sound for most users and not those very niche few who are going to be able to get their USB drive to work and play in this car. But that being said, I am going to hook up my iPhone here and we're going to try listening to the same music we're listening to on the Android phone and just see if the 5.1 works any different or see if the test tracks sound any different.
Welcome to the Immersive Audio Album Channel Configuration Test. Left. Center. Right. Left surround. Right surround.
Alright, so we're still getting that improperly mixed stereo where I don't think the subwoofer is being downmixed properly. Let's try one of our test tracks here, coming from the iPhone, make sure it still sounds the same. Yeah, still getting way too much subwoofer through there. So Apple CarPlay and Android Auto both coming through poorly mixed. And all that being said, I'm giving this sound system a B. It really takes away from how the music is supposed to sound and goes for this very artificial sound that, yeah, is going to sound cool and impressive to somebody sitting in a showroom listening to pop music. But if you're trying to listen to your high fidelity, properly mixed, dynamic sort of music, it's not going to sound good in this car. Alyssa and I listen to a lot of music, songs we listen to regularly throughout our evening drives or whatever. Doesn't sound right in this car. The good news is the hardware is there, the power is there, amp, everything that's capable. The speakers are good. It's just a strange mixing. So I'm going to do 2 last things here at the end of the video. I'm going to play some back-to-back here with my archived footage from the previous ELS system, not the top level, but the ELS system in the A-Spec, and then this. We're going to go back and forth a few of those songs. And I'm going to see if I can figure out any other way to try to get proper 5.1 audio in here, see if it's mixed properly. But for all intents and purposes, if you go and get yourself a 25 MDX and want to use your iPhone or your Android to listen to music, it's not going to sound proper. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the MDX, check the link below. We've also got the review of the 31 speaker system, which is much better. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from DM Sound, and as always, drive on. whether it's more kind of rap, hip-hop, R&B, this style music, or it's more just general rock and you're looking to get the bass drum coming through, all the bass sounds tight and well balanced here in the MDX.